Islam Makhachev thinks Charles Oliveira's comments are #1 bullshit. During a recent interview, Oliveira expressed his displeasure with the UFC's decision to have him fight in Abu Dhabi. Do Bronx is gearing up for his shot at reclaiming the lightweight championship from Makhachev, who won the vacant 155-pound title in their showdown at UFC 280, also held in Abu Dhabi. Oliveira isn't happy with the choice of location.
You know, with 12 years in the game, he just kind of learned how to play the game. He knew that there was a UFC in Sao Paulo, so he just wanted to shoot his shot and see if it would work. But here we are. You know, he doesn't necessarily think it's fair, but it's the game, and that's where the champion is. He calls the shots, but he's coming back for his belt, wherever that is.
Makhachev enjoys massive support in Abu Dhabi due to his Muslim roots and his best friend Khabib's business ventures in the United Arab Emirates. Makhachev has access to the best training centers and facilities, which isn't sitting well with Oliveira, who thinks the Dagestani is technically enjoying home advantage. Makhachev begs to differ, however. Here's what the UFC lightweight champ said in a tweet, and I quote, "Charles, I asked to fight in the US in the summer, but UFC had other plans. I'm a UFC fighter like you, and I never set the conditions for the UFC. I fight where they offer me to. My last fight took place in Australia in the challenger's backyard. Simple. Everything you say makes no sense." Moving on, One Championship CEO Chatri Sityodtong has fired venomous shots at UFC fighters. But before we find out what he has to say, please subscribe to Takedown MMA and turn on your notifications. Chatri Sityodtong is convinced that his organization offers a higher level of entertainment compared to the UFC. One of Chatri's standout selling points for One Championship is the promotion's evolution into a comprehensive martial arts organization that encompasses a wide range of disciplines beyond just MMA. The promotion holds MMA, as well as Muay Thai, kickboxing, and grappling matches, and is home to some of the most extraordinary Muay Thai and kickboxing legends of all time. UFC, on the other hand, has D1 wrestlers thinking they can strike, according to Chatri.
And I think most fans will say now that One is the most exciting promotion, especially if you watch One Friday Fights. I don't know if you guys have been watching that, but that is some insane stuff. Insane. And I think Joe Rogan even came out yesterday or something, or the day before, saying, One has the most exciting, product. And I agree. What you see in, let's say, the UFC is very sloppy, mediocre-ish striking, because they're not strikers. You're a typical UFC fighter is a D1 college wrestler, 7-0 in the minor leagues, and then they do a little bit of striking, and then they enter the UFC. And One, all these are world champions before they arrive, and they're already multiple world champions at their peak of their career when they arrive. Anyone from an Anissa Maxson to a DeBella to a Rotang or Tawancha or Superbon or any of these legit killers, and that's what makes us different. Is that we truly, if you look at our roster, I think UFC has about 700 athletes, and so do we, around there. But if you look at the number of world championship titles that our athletes have won before they joined One, right? It's like half the organization. You go to a UFC or a Bellator, it's like maybe 20, 30. That's maximum.
Do you guys agree with Chatri Sityodtong? Tony Ferguson is the kind of guy who simply won't retire. The former interim UFC lightweight champ is currently riding a 6-fight losing streak, which he's hoping to snap when he faces the self-proclaimed cash cow of the UFC, Paddy Pimblett, at UFC 296. A win is a must for Ferguson. But even if he loses a 7th consecutive time, he won't ride into the sunset because he's built different.
I don't want to retire. It's not in my thought process. It's not about getting cut. It's not about doing all this stuff. It's about competing. And what I did was I started competing without, 1, having fun, and 2, really giving 100% into my training. And I thought I did. But that means that I have to be coachable. I have to become a student again. I have to ask for help.
Ferguson is confident that he will take out Pimblett. And once he does that, he'll go after someone he's been calling out for a while.
Going after Khabib for a long time and going after McNuggets. This is about as close as it's going to get for right now. So as soon as we get through this dude, we'll go after Conor. Get sight on the dotted line and get through USADA. I am not even close to being done. What it's going to take is a great team that got me to where when I got my championship belt, my interim, when I got that championship belt, I had a great team. But holding on to certain things sometimes can be very detrimental to yourself, which sometimes you just gotta sometimes you have to let go and hold on to the things that hold on to you very tight. And that goes faith, family, and friends.
Will Tony Ferguson bounce back into the win column against Paddy Pimblett? Moving on, Francis Ngannou's coach, Eric Nicksick, has revealed that the Predator's mixed martial arts background will help him in his boxing match against Tyson Fury later this month. Fury recently announced his heavyweight title unifier against Alexander Usyk, making many believe that he is underestimating the Cameroonian, or perhaps doesn't see him as a real threat. Ngannou's MMA coach Eric Nicksick agrees that the two are worlds apart as far as technicality is concerned, but his pupil still has tools that he can use to his advantage come fight night. Quote, "We're jumping into somebody else's territory and trying to figure out how to beat the best to ever do it in the heavyweight division. It's going to be tough. I'm going to tell Francis to sneak in a single leg takedown every once in a while and take this guy down. Maybe we get one single leg for free." Nicksick was obviously joking, but he does see some aspects of MMA helping Ngannou, like the Cameroonian's wild looping punches. Quote, "I think doing all this stuff that we do within MMA will help us. I think it's going to be key for us to not try to outbox Tyson Fury. I think if we get in a situation where it's like, hey, we're going to out-technique this guy, we're going to be in trouble. It's up to us to come up with creative ways on how to approach this." Moving on, Sean Malley has revealed that he won't be part of the UFC's December pay-per-view lineup. Despite his strong desire to step into the octagon before the end of 2023, particularly at UFC 296 on December 16th, O'Malley won't be fighting on the card since the matchmakers have already solidified their plans for the event. The scheduled fights for UFC 296 include Leon Edwards defending his welterweight title against Colby Covington, and Alexander Pantoja putting his flyweight championship on the line against Brandon Royval. O'Malley expressed his intentions in the following statement, quote, "I really, really did truly want to fight in December, like when I called out Marlon Vera for December. But I talked to UFC and they kind of already had plans. They were trying to get Colby Covington and Leon Edwards together." With December now off the table, O'Malley is aiming to make his return to the octagon at UFC 300 in April of the following year. He added, quote, "I think UFC 300 is in April. That would be a sweet card to be on. But again, they're not going to want me as the main event." Marlon Vera is the front runner to fight O'Malley for the bantamweight title, with Merab Dvalishvili being the second option. Aljamain Sterling is also on the list, and according to Daniel Cormier, he absolutely deserves an immediate rematch, despite getting knocked out at UFC 292.
Is it unfair that Aljo doesn't get a title fight right away? Probably. With all those defenses? Absolutely. I'm taking that back. No, probably. Absolutely. Aljamain should get a title fight. He should get a rematch. But he won't, because O'Malley's not looking back.
Who do you think O'Malley should defend his title against? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. To stay up to date with the latest happenings in the world of mixed martial arts and boxing, please subscribe to Takedown MMA and turn on those notifications. Thank you for your continued love and support, and we'll see you in the next one.